Okay, let me tell you how I came about this because it's really interesting and it impacted me much more than I thought it would in different ways. Um, it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I took an online seminar from a coach that I like, and it was on limiting beliefs, and how those are often lies that we just believe, so we never challenge ourselves to rise up. And the question was, who do I want to be? And I thought a couple minutes and I wrote down, I want to be a strong dancer who continues to inspire others. I thought, no, that's not it. I mean, it's got to be something more with my career that can't be my answer. I'm a freestyle coach. I want to be a great trainer. This and that, and I kept coming back to this. I want to be a stronger dancer who continues to inspire others. And even though as impractical as I thought that would ever be, okay, so it's taken me 4 to 5 years to make that change, but it stuck with me. It really stuck with me. And I had to accept the fact that no, that was my first instinct to answer that question. So, so that was really my answer. I'd never be as strong as I was in my 20s and my 30s, with a broken vertebrae that floats in my back. I'm I can't do kicks, I can't jump at all. I can't, there's a lot of things I can't do anymore. I'm not going to look like I used to look, but I can get stronger than I am right now. And that's where you have to kind of change your perception of I can't compare myself to where I was before. I can only compare myself to yesterday and try to become stronger or better at what my commitment is. Last year at this time, it's recital time for me. And last year at this time, after my mom passed away, and take Barb, you know what that's like, and Janine, you know what that's like. You guys know what a toll it takes on you. I was just too overwhelmed to even consider dancing, but I thought, okay, I'm going to dance two numbers with my company. Um, but I really felt like I get on stage, I'm going to pass out. I was really concerned about that, and I didn't. I pulled it off because I'm a professional, but I really had this fear of physically, I can't do it. It's too much for me to handle. Um, and it was 2 months later that I drove myself to ER with cramps where my heart is and through my back and up my jaws. It wasn't a heart attack, but they said blood pressure being over so much for an extended period of time, you'll start to have muscle spasms
Okay.
there. There was mimicking a heart attack. So, okay, so I got through that one, but I had no endurance at all. I couldn't walk upstairs at all. I mean, this continued for months. Um, so when it came time for the recital this year, I was going to dance 3 dances with my company, and I said, I can't do it. I'll dance two. And I thought, who the heck's voice is that? I don't have to listen to that. If I want to dance 3 dances, then commit to doing it. Okay, well, I found this um, really great song that I wanted to use for the finale. I go, I want to dance that one too. Okay, how am I going to get myself ready to dance 4 dances in 2 months? And that's where I really had to start working through this process. Um, I made that commitment. I said, I am going to become that dancer. How am I going to do it? We're our worst coaches. We really are. I could coach somebody else how to do it, but for me, I was still resistant to it. So whatever was your goal or commitment of who you want to become, starting today, what things would you change? Even if you're coaching somebody else, what would you tell them would be a positive change in the right direction? And I'm like I said, I'll cut these out. But does anybody have a suggestion of what they would tell somebody else if they were in your shoes of how to make progress forward in a positive way? Well, and I worded it that way because I know how to do it. I didn't know that I could convince myself, because it seemed like too much. It seemed still like a far, far reach. And I'll tell you what, when I sat down with what would I tell somebody else, I came up with this big list of things that I could do to improve. And that's what I would have told them. Everything from, okay, I need a nap once a day. Okay. I mean, even if it's just getting off my feet for 30 minutes, I need to cut back on caffeine. I need to reduce sugar. I need to stretch. I need to practice my performance dances. Maybe walk Katie on weekends so that I'm getting a little more strength. Listen to more mental performance coaches and really think about what they're saying. But the thing is, I don't have to do all of those things. If I just do one or two a week, I'm still making progress. I'm still climbing the ladder toward what that goal is. So, do you guys have anything that you would do for yourself or suggest to somebody else that would help you? Oh, okay. Making a list of anything you need to have on hand or plan for the time to make those chosen practices possible. I have a drum set and a guitar that I wanted to learn to play. Well, I used to play the drums, but I didn't touch them even since my mom died. I'm just starting to go, I deserve that time. That might be my 15 minutes. And then I would feel so much better because it's a total change from my work. It's just me time. But the list of things that you need to have on hand, Barb, even if you have to make yourself a Starbucks coffee to go outside. I mean, I know the idea was removing you from the situation, but whatever you can do to make that feel real, that's really worth it. For me, it was, I know I have to have protein shakes with my breakfast in the morning, and that totally changed my muscle mass. My legs got stronger. I'm looking in the mirror going, where did those muscles come from? I hadn't been working out so much yet, but it made a difference in my energy and my ability to be selective of what I was going to eat for lunch and for dinner. So, protein shakes, I have to have spinach or something with iron in it because I do have an iron deficiency. So I started making out a list of what meals I'm going to make myself that contain those things that I need. I mean, that the diet, according to how to feed that dancer, was different than what I was doing. I have to have those things on hand. So it was preparing for those practices or systems, and really being, I'm not an analytical person at all. I had to be a list maker of how to put those systems in place. Journaling each day, I think is a great thing to do too when you can, because a lot of times things will come out that you're just not admitting to yourself or anybody else. I found journaling did help me, especially if I would not say the things that I didn't get done, but if I would mention the things that um, I did follow my breakfast plan. Hey, that's a big win. Anything from my list that I did, I wrote down because that shows me I'm starting to live that life, even if I wasn't feeling it yet. I mentioned about the inner critic and the inner champion. That I stole. I didn't make that up. From one of the mental performance sports coaches that I listened to. And the inner critic will tell you all the things you're doing wrong or put the doubts in your head. And I'm still really working on that because I've done that all my life. But your inner champion only has 3 responses to anything you think about this change. 1, yeah, that's like me. Okay, if I stretched, I would say, yep, that's like me being that dancer. That's my new identity. Um, if I drank my protein shake with my breakfast that has protein in it, and spinach in it, I would say, yep, that's like me because that's who I am now. Um, if you're not, if you got a failure happening, you say, I'm improving. You don't tear yourself down about it. You say, I'm improving, or it still needs work. That's the only 2 things that you can reply to yourself. Yep, I still need to work on that. Or, well, I'm improving. Okay. That's the inner champion talking to you. Um, any thoughts on that, you guys? Any? Okay, let me tell you where this led me. This is the success story beyond what I ever imagined. Um, so going to dress rehearsal, usually I am a freaking basket case of everything. I'm responsible for everything from the music to the kids lining up to everything. Plus the costume changes of my own and performing on and just all of that. And I was really surprised when dress rehearsal, I was just quiet inside. My brain wasn't going 100 miles an hour. I was just present, not thinking of what could go wrong. Not that is, that's like me. It never has been, but that's like me now, apparently. I didn't expect the mental to change or the emotional to change. When it came last Friday, recital day, I have not been so excited to get on stage and dance since I was in high school. And I'm going, I get to take that stage again. What a total turnaround from I can't do it, I might pass out, to I can't wait. And that showed me I can be the inspiration for these other dancers still. I mean, to have gone a total 180 on this. I didn't expect that. I was hoping to be a little bit stronger, um, be a little more clear mentally. I had no fear. I didn't practice as much as I should have. Will I remember it? Yeah, the music's going to tell me what to do. And I had total trust in that. So call me crazy, that's fine. But had I not created this scenario for myself, I would have been a total basket case again. And it was one of the um, best experiences of my dance career was last Friday at 67. So it's a big deal. The things that I'm capable of that I just don't realize I'm capable of. And every time this approaches me now in the future, I'm going to go, wait, remember that? I can do it for this situation too. And I can do, what, and not when it's dependent on someone else's life, but for your own positioning, for your own, when you guys get through this, or, um, or whether it is about performing with your dog or getting a dog or whatever, you can rise up to that occasion by working through this. What am I going to need? What do I need from myself in order to be a good dog mom? Because Barb, I know you're going to again. And I know that Janine just lost one, and Marilyn, you're dealing with everybody's dogs, including your own. So um there's future out there for us if we're willing to go, yeah, maybe I could. Well, what would that look like? So any closing thoughts, you guys?